Yeah, just trying to get my mom to like, because she's a nurse and she's just, she worries about my health and, she wants me to live a long time and be there because we lost both of my brothers. I'm the last child of my family.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a loss of like they got sick and died, like they were murdered. So,
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
hmm
Yeah, it's got to be rough. Yeah, I lost my uncle as a young child, and I know that really it did a lot as far as like hurt and pain for my mom because he did it in our home.
oh,
Yeah, he took his own life.
yes.
And like I remember being very small and sleeping in my mom's room and waking up and looking out of my mom's door into our living room where I saw like sirens, or not sirens, but the lights of the ambulance vehicle or whatever, and just hearing my mom like sobbing profusely, like in complete agony. And like, to me, I always think back at that as like I never actually witnessed it, and I don't know what happened, but I
Right.
was there around the trauma, and it had to have imprinted on me.
Well, it
maybe
did. What did it
little
make you
bit,
feel? Do you remember that? What
Yeah.
did you feel when you?
Well, I just
she was
remember
doing it?
being scared because I saw the lights.
So you
and
felt
then
fear.
and then I
And
heard
what did
my
you
mom.
do? Where did you go with that fear? Did you sit there with it? Did you go to her?
No, I don't remember. It's
don't
just it's
remember.
literally just the memory is me opening my eyes, seeing the light,
Yeah.
hearing my mom, and then maybe just going back to sleep or being kind of restless and my mom coming into the room and sleeping with me at some point. But I don't really know much. I don't
What
really remember
happened?
much.
What was the next memory after that you remember?
That's so that I don't know. Even on a timeline,
Well, you went to the funeral.
no, I don't remember doing
You
that.
don't do that either.
I don't remember doing that.
So you disassociated.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I remember being in that house around that age period and having memories still, but I couldn't tell you what timeline it was in.
But
Like
when
if it
did
was
you
before
remember
or
the
after.
last thing that you remembered after he had passed? That you do.
Doing after that?
Like even just anything from that age.
Yeah. I honestly, okay, whoa. So I don't know if this is before or after it, but it's most likely after it. But I remember sitting on the floor of the living room watching cartoons, and I was like rocking back and forth.
Okay.
And I remember my mom telling me like, "Are you okay? Like, why are you rocking back and forth? You know, why are you doing?
Right.
That's what crazy people do, or something, saying something like
Oh,
that."
really?
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh shoot!" But I'm like kind of a fidgeter and a mover anyway.
Yeah.
But I see that's the thing though, is like with that memory, I couldn't tell you if that was before or after. I remember the
Yeah.
time frame, but I don't know it in a timeline sequence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that comes with having an experience like that. You kind of lose track of time.
Yeah.
Some children, especially children, they lose track of that time.
Right.
They don't know the sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas older people, as they get older, they can say, well, this happened around this age.
Right.
And then we unpack the trauma in that way, So in a sense, I was trying to get you to unpack, but there's not much memory
Yeah.
from there. So it's like, and if it hasn't affected you, like maybe everything affects you. You just don't know it. And that's
Right.
why like doing trauma release exercises is really good, because you don't know where the trauma is, but it's in your body.
Yeah.
So if you can activate that.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
I've
When I told you, or like
no,
before.
this was a couple, probably 3-4 years ago when I first started doing breath work. But yeah, like deep breath work, like doing 20 deep breaths, really like profusely in like 3 sets of like 20. This is kind of how I started off with it. It was like a Wim Hof method, the guy that jumps in the Arctic and does ice baths and stuff.
Oh yeah, the ice bath. Yeah.
But I did that, and the very first time I did that, I freaking just busted out like crying. It like triggered something in me that like just made me like release
and that's why
it
I
all.
said you don't even need to talk about the rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can release the trauma in your body. You can control the trauma responses, and you can unpack the trauma. Like not everybody gets to that point. There's 4 stages. So the first stage is awareness, education, and then the processing, you know, unpacking, and then resilience.
Yeah.
So you have all those stages, and self-regulation is in the first and second stage, the first stage,
Right.
and then the awareness. So being able to regulate your emotions is key. And you know, working with NMC, working with the Native Music Coalition, and doing the trauma work with the recovery is interesting because like my focus is not on like their substance use. My focus is on why they chose that as their coping mechanism.
Right.
You know, like what can they do to alter that connection to the substance as being a coping, because even when they get past their 6 years, 5 years, 10 years, that want to use is still there.
Oh yeah.
And that's where the trauma is. It's like you need to alter that connection, and that altering that connection is mucking up your memories.
Yeah.
So that's what unpacking the trauma does. It basically changes the way you perceive that memory, and not as a victim,
Right.
but as a warrior, as somebody who lived it, experienced it, and learned from it, and took something from it. Even if it took something from you, you're still getting something out of it. It's like the yin and yang, evil and the good, you know, they have to work together.
Yeah.
You have to have good and evil in your life
You
to
need
have
that
balance.
synergy. Yeah. No, yeah, great. That was amazing. And it's a lot of work. And I just hope a lot of people are willing to go out and try it for themselves and do it for themselves too, because I always encourage everybody to, you know, at least try out therapy and, you know, figure it out, because there's a lot of stuff that we're maybe not looking at or you know, don't want to look at, but it takes courage and it takes a lot of bravery to really go and pursue that path and try and heal yourself, because the only way the things in this world are going to get better is if we all take a look in the mirror and really heal ourselves, and then let that kind of spread out like a web, like an intricate web, and inspire others to do the same thing, you know. So
well, like this is a mirror, like this is a reflection, the abalone shell.
yeah.
So like this is the yaki cross. This, so the shell is a reflection, and it's also protection. So it reflects evil from us. So we're taking it away so it doesn't come at us. Like we're trying to send out positive vibes, you know, and keep ourselves safe. And like if evil comes near us, this is like you look at yourself.
Right.
Don't look at me.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love the ojo too, because it's like these little phalanges or whatever they're called out here. It's like absorbing the energy, whether it's good or bad, and then going through the seed, which is kind of transmuting that bad into good and keeping you spiritually protected. At least is how I've been kind of shown in my understanding of it. But
yeah. And
yeah.
I mean, somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, as far as culturally, like I've always been involved with my Yaqui culture. Like I grew up going to the old Pascua, you know, like being there with my brothers and my father and my tios, and you know, being a little Angelita as a little girl, like just being there. And I didn't live there. I mean, I haven't lived in Tucson since 1989. You know, I just moved back in 2017. So I was like 13 when I moved.
Right.
You know, so I didn't get the quinceañera I wanted because I didn't have any family over there. So they're like, oh, you don't get that quinceañera. I was like, yeah, I was a bad girl. Anyway, so yeah, just coming back and being part of my culture, and that's what I wanted to do the whole time, was come back and give back to my people. Like, you know, the frescoes, the therapy, like I'm a vessel for my community. I'm not here for myself. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to get clout, you know, like, I mean, I'm here because I was driven here by the Creator, you know, like I gave myself to a higher power years ago, many years ago, probably when I was 17, because there was evil around me, you know, and I had to get away from that. And that was alcohol. That was alcohol in my family. It was alcohol in myself, you know, And it was an evil thing to choose that over your family. And I don't want to put my dad down because I forgive him, but there was a lot of physical abuse going on in my life, and I had to get out of it.
Right.
Education was one of the things I used, and physical, just being physically active.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing all that. I know it's like deeply personal and a lot of this stuff, and it's sometimes hard to open up a bit, especially when you know a bunch of random people are going to be watching you. But I do appreciate you sharing. I love that people get to tell their stories here, and yeah, it's been a great experience so far. And before I wind down the episode, I do want to ask you one final question. And it's cultivating you, and I always like to ask my guest if you have any technique or discipline or practice or anything that you do other than the stuff we've already kind of talked about, but is there something that you do on a day-to-day basis to enrich your life and make your life better and keep your progress growing, keep your growth going, that you could offer the listeners so that they could maybe implement it into their lives and just have a greater experience here on earth?
Like, be happy.
Just be happy.
Have joy.
Yeah.
Find joy. Do things that seek joy. Look for things that make you happy. Don't stay stagnant in anything. Like if something's getting boring, get excited about it. My boyfriend and I were hanging out, and I just said, you know what? You need to just pull my chonies down because I'm tired of this episode. So it's like, sometimes I like that. But, just find joy in things that break it up sometimes, break up the monotony of life. And,
no, for sure.
Do exercise. Like, I have a discipline. It's not even that you have to be full throttle in your exercise, but actually enjoy, like, just being there. Like, sometimes you just want to be there. And even if you can't do everything you want to do, like, get over that hump and enjoy that pain.
No, yeah, like you're saying, get out of your comfort zone and be uncomfortable and do different stuff and spice it up. I think you embody that, and I think it's great advice. And I just want to say thank you again for coming on the show. This has been awesome. We always have great conversations, and I look forward to plenty more. Maybe we could do this again.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you so much.
Oh yes, especially now that I have my LPC, my licensed practical counselor, whatever they call it. I don't even know what the hell it is. Yeah. But that's what I am. I'm independent now, and I'll be getting my license on the 23rd.
And congratulations on that.
Yes.
I know you've been excited about it. It's been a long time coming.
Like 5 years.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you on the next one. Oh, much love. Oh, yes. Actually, before we do peace out, let's do one last thing.
If you are thinking about hurting yourself or you need somebody to reach out to, there's a new mental health hotline, 899. So remind yourself. I knew it's hard to remember that, but I have to ingrain it in myself as well.
So it's kind of like a 911, but it's 899?
I'm sorry. See, I'm dyslexic. It's 988.
Oh, 988. Okay.
988. You don't have to wait.
There you go.
That's how you remember it. 988. You don't have to wait.
Yes. Yeah. Don't hurt yourself. Please reach out. We love y'all. Peace.